Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the Zentangle original tangle, Nekton. This is a great fill-in tangle. I have had, I don't know, maybe I'm in a mode of, let's conquer another one. And while this one, it's not like hard, but it does involve randomness. So I'm going to do my little 4 corner dots and a border. Okay. All right. If you have done the tangle Kiko, it's kind of similar to that, except we're doing random angles of lines. Okay, so if you have a challenge with randomness too, here's how we're gonna do. We're gonna do this together. It's gonna be all right. Picking what it's like whatever angle is, your tile, your paper's at right now. I'm just gonna do seri, groupings of say 4 lines, and honestly, it doesn't matter. Spreading them out. I mean, sometimes, honestly, for me, this part is even, it's like, oh, where shall I put some next? Oh, I don't know. And I am going to kind of work underneath my border like that. Okay. Then, whenever you want to finish, and it's a, just try not to think about it too much. But then, let's just turn the tile. And here's my challenge. I don't want it to turn out like Kiko, so I'm not going to make it perpendicular. I want to have it at some kind of an angle. So that's where I'm aiming for. And they don't have to touch or connect. Some I'm going to, but just at a different angle and put out some more. And like I said, it doesn't matter. The length, size, whatever. This is if you have this challenge like I do, it's just shut off the brain. There's no right, there's no wrong. Or actually, the only right is just doing it. The only wrong is not doing it. And, so like I'm trying to come off of different sides. Okay, here's one in the middle. All right. And then whenever you feel like changing angle, change angle. And see that then I'm like, well, wait, but that's kind of that angle. Well, let's turn it a little bit different. And then just start filling in. And I know somebody is out there like, that's so silly. No, the struggle is real for some of us. And that's why I like to share, just because, and then at some point it's like, okay, well, I'm not sure, but you could just keep changing the angle. I need to have some order in it. So that's what I have discovered is like, okay, my issue apparently is I need to have some structure. So if I start off with, them going in the same direction, it's a good start, and it really, really helps. And then like here's like, okay, well, I've kind of gotten a nice mishmash. And so then here I can, like right here. Well, even though let's do this. It's one of those, it just doesn't matter. And like you can fill in with little lines, and it doesn't have to be 4 lines. It's fine if it's 3 or 2 or 6. It's okay. And you just keep going. And then, in my mind, eventually, well, you know what? Maybe it will never get easy to do random things because but because some things that are like that, it's just like we each have our unique personality, right? And you don't we don't change how we're wired. It's not really, unless there's something like seriously traumatic, we're not going to change how we are, but we can learn to work with ourselves a little bit more. So And so it's like, oh, well, I'm just going to find a way to make it easier, to make it, you know what? And even if it's not completely enjoyable, if I can do some of these, then I feel like I have conquered something. And just like, they like to say, I'm focusing over here. And you know what? Sometimes it's like you just need to have that where you focus here. And then okay, we'll fill in some more. Like too much open space with something like this. It's like, no. It's too much pressure. And then I hear Mom saying, it's just a piece of paper, Heather. And I'm like, I understand that logically, sort of, but not, yes and no, as I tell her. But as they say, life imitates art. And so it's just really interesting, that whole statement, because up to you if you want to put in the comments, or go to my link tree if you want to email me if you've had something that where you're like, when you're not tangling in real life, we'll just say that, and something happens, you're like, okay, and like you pull a Zentangle analogy out, I would love to know that. I think it's so interesting. I'm almost thinking leaving some little gaps in here, just little, like I said, things don't have to butt up next to each other. And then as you fill in, it's like, okay, well, in this little section, what direction is different than what's there already, or different enough? And what I find also fascinating is as I fill it up, then it's like, oh, well, hey, this looks like the picture. Now, let me, you know what I need to, let me check, because I didn't check first to see if by chance, I don't know if Zentangle put this out on a newsletter yet. They might not have. So if not, then there won't be any for more inspiration on there. It will just be this. And I didn't check beforehand because I was just looking through my Zenthology, which is a book that CZTs get when we go to the CZT seminar. And I just like, you know what? Let's do that. Oh, and we'll see. And then as it gets filled in, then is okay, well, let's here's a nice little area that could use a little something else. Let's do it this way. Well, it lined up with that, but it's okay. But doing it a little bit smaller, leaving a gap, again, there's no right, there's no wrong. Just do. No one's going to go and look at your work and say, oh, well, now look at that look at that gap there. So, and then when it's all done, it's like, well, look at that. I don't know. I feel, satisfied with that. And it's like, look at that neat texture. And it's one of those, oh, did I do that type of moments. And, yeah. So now this one for shading, okay, we're going to go from no, I'm just teasing. This is one that you would generally and I should have done this thing darker on the outside, but you would generally just shade the whole section if you even want to. All right. It's an up to you. All right, and let's see. Shade it in to the inside or to the outside? Well, let's do it to the outside because this is awful small. It'll still look, it looks neat either way. It looks different when we do that. But what a nice texture this is. You have a fill and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. And like I said, it's just neat. And, imagine if you made the lines, a little smaller even. That could look neat. All right. Well, let me throw this in there. Okay, so take a look at this, and it looks neat, doesn't it? It just with that shaded, and actually it's shaded to the outside. I didn't shade it to the inside, right? But what if you decided, you know what? I'm gonna take some. I'm just gonna use what's left on here. I'm just gonna make some inroads here. No rhyme or reason. I'm just wiping off what's left on my tortillon. Really, that's the whole thing. Actually, this is part of when I do the fun with shading. This is one of the things. I haven't done it with this tangle, but next time I do it, I might. It just adds some extra dimension. Again, randomness, but that randomness doesn't freak me out as much as just doing this, with actual pen to paper. But it just adds some extra texture to the texture. All right. How fun. All right. In the description section, I sort of mentioned, well, first off, if you've enjoyed this, I would love it if you click the like button. Also, if you liked it enough to see more, please subscribe to the channel. Description section is where you'll find links to the step out or step outs you will see when you get there. And some like these, it's like, yeah, you don't really need it, but at the same time, I find I do, because it's like, well, I because I just need to. And so they're there. If I find some other links to Zentangle with examples and things, I will post them there as well. Below that is my link tree. So I would love to hear if you have a challenge with randomness, and if Zentangle has helped you in other ways besides Zentangle practice. I am just curious to know. So the link tree link that's in the description section, that is to all my social media. There is a link to my email there. It's along with the website, Facebook page, all of that. So if you want to follow me any of those places, that would be great. And if you would like to be a part of it's such a special community. It really, really is. We have a Tangle Addicts Facebook community group, a private group on Facebook. So if you happen to be on Facebook, come and join us. We have a lot of fun. Everybody, we encourage everybody to share their work. There's not everybody does, and that's okay. If you just want to look and comment and help, I call it gushing over everybody's work, because that's what we do. We'd love to have you just do that. It's up to you. But we have, and I say we, because it is we, have really gathered a really neat group of people. It's a nice, safe space to present your work. It doesn't matter, and everybody that we know in the group understands it just really doesn't matter. That is our motto. It really doesn't matter. And hashtag do what you want. And Allie, I owe you. I have to pay royalties on that. Just kidding. Anyway, that's a long behind the scenes story joke. You have to join us for our Tangle Time sessions, and then you will know more about that kind of stuff. And by the way, those are free. So I do sessions where we just play with a tangle or two on Thursdays. I do it 2 times on Thursday. That is free. There's another free session that I do on the 3rd Tuesday of the month. That is called Tough Tangle Tuesday. And then the other ones on Tuesday are paid classes, or I have one, the first Tuesday of the month is a club member exclusive. And you can check, information is all on the link tree. It's pretty self-explanatory, so you can follow me for classes and just find out more information. Okay, so with that, thank you so much for watching and playing along with me on this. And I wish you happy tangling.